exclude
so
you, this is your
tell me
report
what's going
card.
on, so I can.
If you, yeah, I can send plans to anybody, that's not a problem, so if I get email addresses, I can do that.
Send it to Beth, to me, do you want all three of you to get it?
Yeah, just click a button, so
And Mr. Rader will give Beth his,
Well, he's gonna give it to.
because
Dustin, is that okay?
okay?
Or your pencil.
I have a fire. Sorry to have to leave, I have a building on fire.
Time of day on Friday, Bill,
1 o'clock,
Early afternoon, I'll
Okay.
is
shoot
that all
for
right?
Okay.
Gary, you want, you're invited if you wanna come. You'll be part of it.
So it'll just be a
Just a
conference
phone
call.
conference, yeah.
Yep.
it's just a phone conference.
Okay, so you're setting up a phone conference for Friday at 1 o'clock for,
But with everybody, Cypher,
Bill, Ted,
Bill.
BFNS,
Yes.
ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, if we get involved on the phone call, it's, we have to have a special meeting.
correct.
Yeah, so it's just Bill gonna be,
Yeah.
yeah. But we gotta understand though, I mean, it's gonna be the ripple effect. If it's possible to do that, it's gonna cost another 100,000 or better probably to do something. Maybe again and just more money.
Well, it might be helpful if we get the plans, they can give us some dimensions and maybe lay it out on an aerial so you can see where the manholes would actually be. And
Right.
does that truly impact, you know,
Well,
farming?
if he loads his crops off the end of that road right there on the north end of that field, he's gonna be putting some pressure on that, even though it's that far.
Well, there's a water line between the power and, I misspoke, we are putting a water. main.
Right, and that's
There's a
only-
12-inch main that's got 5 foot of cover, that's what it calls for.
I wouldn't want to drive on that.
Yeah, they're all across the United States in that same depth, so that's not a,
Yeah,
they get bedded properly, there's nothing's gonna tear that up. But-
okay.
And I'm not worried about the sanitary getting impacted, that's,
It's pretty
it's
far.
way down, it's just, but they're, you know, those manholes are,
It just seems like we would be saving money because you're extending the pipe up above the ground. You just leave her down.
yeah, but it'll change the manhole cap and everything, because you don't just put a standard
Right.
plate on there, it's, those castings are different when you're exposed, so I'm not gonna guess at what that would be, that's what we have engineers for.
Well, I think like you guys can get that figured out.
So I'll get that set up, while I'm up here, give you a quick update of what's going on, if that works. We've subcontracted everything, so the job is 100% bought out. We've been working with Elevatus, going through submittals. There's been some various RFIs, requests for information, so we're doing all of those things right now. We will be getting a weekly or bi-weekly meeting that'll be set up with Elevatus and ourselves, and anybody's more than welcome to join in on those. Right now, they're gonna be on Teams, so virtual. It's just to kind of go through questions that are out there and submittals. One thing that is unique about this project from others is Elevatus has designed this building and has that project going on in Missouri right now. And so as things have happened on that project, they're already broken ground and the building's out there. There's a coordination item that they've discovered. They're starting to send those over to us to say, hey, this popped up on our project and let's get out in front of it. So that's good and bad from the perspective we're discovering issues before they become an issue on our project. But it has instituted a couple things that may be wanting to be tweaked or changed. So one thing I did want to ask was if there are changes in the scope of work that are being requested by Elevatus or someone to say, hey, would you guys wanna do this? It may save you some money, for example. How do you want me to present those? I can send a memo out to the team and say, here's the change, here's the cost of that change. Right now, they're potentially able to eliminate some things that are either duplicates or may not be necessary. So I know you guys aren't opposed to saving money.
Well, my thing is, the only thing is if you change something major, we need to be notified as for the cost money. If
Correct.
the little stuff don't cost us a dime or saves us, you guys,
Yeah, well, some of them are more of a preference, like the first one right now is there's a ladder and a roof hatch in the vehicular sally port. And I think they're getting rid of it on the jail in Missouri because it's in an area that theoretically an inmate could pop out of a car, climb up.
yeah, I would.
You should have a roof hatch locked, but then to get on top of your roof there, you'd have to set up a roof ladder outside and climb up. Now, from a maintenance perspective, if you don't care about setting up a ladder, then you save a couple $1,000.
Now that it's on YouTube, I think you better take it out.
What's that?
Yeah.
Now that that's on YouTube, I think you better take that out.
Yeah.
Things like that. I mean, I could tell you 100 ways to try to get out of the jail. It's not easy to do.
Yeah, I definitely don't want no ladder
Okay.
inside the sally port.
All right.
To the roof.
We would apply the common sense, and that's where Elevatus is doing the same thing, because they're ultimately responsible for things like that, and they're telling us, hey, let's get rid of it. We're looking at it from how are you gonna repair and service your building, and, balancing those two.
Well, we don't have a maintenance group for Carroll County, we hire it out anyway, so.
So if the roofer needs to come out, they're getting a ladder out. Okay,
they'll get their own ladder.
all right, well, we'll track those, and we'll send regular updates, and we'll be here regularly as well to present those. Other than that, I wanted to introduce a gentleman that's with me in the back here, Bill Galvin. He'll be our senior project manager on the project, so you'll get to know him as he's gonna be heavily involved in this project. And then the last thing I have is twofold. One, I believe the bonds have closed. So there's two forms that I was made aware of as part of the DOT agreement that need to be executed. I didn't bring them today because I was just made aware of them Friday and I didn't get them printed over the weekend. They're already in the agreement. They're exhibits at the back. One's a closing certificate, and then there's a developer and county consent forms. So I will get those circulated through Beth, and we can bring them to the next meeting if we need be. It was all
Did we
approved.
sign all those in that
Pardon?
setting? I think we signed all that in that setting when they were
No,
here.
that was only their documents.
Okay, but I knew we signed a million papers.
Yeah, no, these are separate, and I'll verify they weren't signed when we all signed the original DOT. It was just the exhibits back there.
Yeah.
Very well could have been signed. And then we have, we'd like to understand how you would like us to deal with disbursements, or they're called disbursements in the DOT, but draws, pay applications. So we have our first pay application that we would like to submit. This is for bonds, insurance, the initial expenses of the DOT. It's $266,869. I've got one copy that I can give, but we would normally email them in. So is that to you, and then you would put them on the agenda for approvals and, yeah.
Just do like a regular claim form?
You don't have, I don't think, I don't know if they do with claims that or not.
Everything that we do is a claim form.
Yeah.
By state.
But we should process that, I think
Yeah,
they're
that's it, I
paid.
would fix the claim form, you gave me that, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just have to see what procedures they, because of
Right.
that. I don't think there should be any that.
So,
General rule
I don't
is
want, oh, go ahead.
the 12th, is it, what is it, second Friday of the, huh? If you've got an invoice by the, what is it, the third Friday of the month, or it's paid on the 10th?
Yeah, close.
Is that,
When you get it.
is that okay?
Normally, normally we will send them in by around the first of the month, and it's for the month previous, so this is, for the month of April, but this one's really kind of different, because it's for everything we've done to date. And we may not have another one until July, unless there's some subcontractors that start providing invoices for various things as they're ordering materials.
Just mark that in and see what.
I will email this to you, and I'll copy, commissioners, so you know what's there.
And I'll talk to Mark.
Just let us know. And if there's a preferred date in the future for months,
I'll let you know.
let us know, and we'll adjust our process to meet that.
And all these emails you're gonna be sending us, is it gonna be multiple people sending, or is it just gonna be one dedicated person? Because if I see a name and I think it's scam, I don't look at my email. I'd like to have just one person.
Yeah, we can make that
If
happen.
possible.
Yeah, we can make that happen. It will probably be, it would either be myself, which is Dustin at Baton Woodruff,
Right.
or Bill.
Either one's fine, I just want one.
Yeah, we'll make sure nobody else sends anything.
Because if I
unless it
start
goes
going
through us.
through multiple emails, then I'm like,
And if there's something we need a decision on, or other things, we'll probably pick up the phone and call.
okay.
Or if Quincy's up, he'll be doing some of this too. So
I called him the other day.
if he calls you, or, you know, that's something we're needing, so. We try to communicate when we need to, but we'll give you as much information as you want, so.
Alright, that's why I picked you guys, you're open book. I
Alright.
don't have any more questions. We got the other thing issue taken care of with the phone call. I think we're good. Appreciate you guys showing up.
Yeah, thank you.
Alright, we have another stuff on the agenda here. TA BOA board appointment. Peter Bowe. And did you see your letter?
This one?
Yeah.
Dave Smith, where you run?
And these are the ones that are on there already. We have to make a motion to appoint these.
Approved.
Alright, we got a motion to reappoint Smith, McLean, and Davis to the Peter Bowe. I will second that, all in favor? Aye, motion passes. And the other one was, you got the ground? Okay.
It's the area of churches.
Area Churches Gazebo makes work. They just want a National Day of Prayer. Make work 12 to 1. Keith did sign off on this. Entertain a motion. So I have a motion for the gazebo on May 4th from 12 to 1. I'll second that. All in favor? Motion passes. Is there any other business to come before the board? Yes, ma'am.
I'm just simple information for you. I don't know if you've noticed, but Tippecanoe Township has finally got the new warning siren mounted, standing out there along 421. So right now, we're waiting on Duke to do their part, and then it'll get programmed into the county system and
Nice.
be operational, finally.
Okay. That's nice. Appreciate that. Any other business?
I had a question, Mr. Chairman, and it was brought up maybe at the last meeting. I did hear back, was a letter in support of that farm's application to get approval for wetlands abatement or whatever it is.
Right.
you know, where they construct their alternative. I didn't know if you had voted on that, to,
We voted for him to farm, but I don't think we did anything about the letter.
okay,
I don't recall.
the letter has to do with, sending it to IDEM, that you support their, application to, be able to, you know, move the wetland, basically.
We made a motion authorizing Don Chocolate to write a letter or send an email.
Okay.
Motion for who?
Chocolate, this
Well,
is,
But I don't know whether it's, said you were going to let me know.
Right,
I said that
Got
time,
it.
but it was during his wedding. so-
I'll let Don know, that's all I need, that's it.
All right. Anything motion?
I'll move with you.
I'll second, all in favor? Aye, we are adjourned. Thank you for those who came.